There is no impending debt ceiling crisis if we choose to enforce the Constitution of the United States. All that and more now on Graf's Grievances. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warning the U.S. could run out of money to pay its bills by June 1st if Congress does not raise or suspend the debt ceiling. This accelerated timeline putting pressure on President Biden and lawmakers to reach an agreement so America does not default on its debt. But numerous constitutional scholars say the debt ceiling itself is unconstitutional. Why is that? Just read the 14th Amendment. Section 4 states, quote, "The validity of the public debt of the United States shall not be questioned." It's not very complicated. The 155-year-old 14th Amendment makes clear that the U.S. must keep paying its debt obligations, because not doing so would be unconstitutional. So what does this mean? President Biden should ignore the unconstitutional debt ceiling and just continue to pay the spending that Congress has already approved. Sure, Republicans will likely take the Biden administration to court for continuing to pay America's bills, but that is nothing Democrats should fear. They have the Constitution on their side. Republicans love to preach about originalism, or interpreting the Constitution and its amendments in accordance with their original meaning. So let's do just that. Adopted shortly after the Civil War, historians say Section 4 of the 14th Amendment was written to ensure Confederate states did not refuse to pay off debt incurred during the war. Much of this debt was held by small investors in the North. Therefore, in accordance with the original intent of the 14th Amendment, President Biden must continue to pay America's bills to prevent default and avert economic calamity around the globe. And if following the Constitution wasn't incentive enough, by refusing to engage in the charade of negotiating with Republicans over raising the debt ceiling, President Biden will remind Americans why he deserves a second term. It's no secret that even Democrats are not enthusiastic about President Biden running for re-election. The latest NBC News poll finding 71% of Americans, including 51% of Democrats, believing he should not run for a second term. So what do voters want in a presidential candidate? According to USA Today, both Democrats and Republicans say they want a candidate who, quote, fights for the people they represent. Well, guess what? By refusing to negotiate with Republicans on the debt ceiling and continuing to pay America's bills, President Biden will show the American people he is fighting for them. President Biden will also send a signal to the world that he will not allow anyone, including Republicans, to extort the American people. The United States will always pay its bills, and bondholders, members of our military, and retirees do not have to fear that they will not be paid. Thanks for watching Graf's Grievances. Let me know what you think.